You're watching Camnet TV, not just another channel. Welcome to our news. The headlines. Police summon HAKAINDE HICHILEMA for unknown reasons. Dr. TASILA TEMBO'S alleged killer committed to the High Court for trial. Neves MUMBA accuses his political enemies of setting him up in the DR Congo following his partial detention. In international news, dozens of Nigerian schoolboys arrive home after being kidnapped. And in sports news, Christopher KATONGO unveiled as brand ambassador for BETWAY. For the details, join me shortly after this break.
Hello, have you heard about Msika? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, Msika is here. Advertise on Msika between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact +260 953 995099. +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467. Msika, allowing your business to grow.
With the details, my name is Liseli Kanyanga. Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, has given express instructions to Lusaka Magistrate Chibabula Chinuda to commit a Zambia Army officer who is alleged to have killed a prominent Zambia medical practitioner, Dr. TASILA, to the High Court for commencement of trial. Lieutenant Nigel Mwaba is facing one count of murder. More in the following report.
Lieutenant Nigel Mwamba, accused of brutally killing his girlfriend after a misunderstanding, made his appearance before the Lusaka's Magistrate Court this morning. Mwamba, who has spent almost 20 days in custody since his arrest, was immediately committed to the Lusaka High Court upon the court receiving instructions from the Director of Public Prosecutions. The lieutenant is facing a serious allegation of murder, which is contrary to Section 200 of the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the Laws of Zambia. Earlier, when Lieutenant Mwamba appeared before Magistrate Chiwaula Chinuda for explanation of the charge, he made an application that the court orders that he seek for medical attention, saying he could not hear properly as his ears were bleeding following the incident that occurred whilst he was in detention. He said, according to a medical personnel who attended to him at Skanze Clinic, his ears was infected, and when his lawyers and family requested for the said medical report, the police officers allegedly tore it apart. The allegations are that Lieutenant Mwamba, on dates unknown, but between 24 and 26 October 2020, murdered Dr. TASILA Tembo after a bitter quarrel. The two were in a relationship. After killing his girlfriend, Mwamba left her body in Nanking Army Training Center in Mikango Barracks, where he covered it with leaves. After spending days running, the accused was later apprehended at Memorial Park, where he had gone to visit the gravesite of the woman he once loved and killed. He is expected to appear in the Lusaka High Court soon for his trial. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
The Chinsali Magistrate Court has put Sesheke Member of Parliament Romeo Kangombe on his defense in a case he is being accused of abducting two police officers. In their testimonies, one of the police officers claimed before court that Mr. Kangombe had twisted his right hand and grabbed his AK-47 rifle before punching him in the face and later bundling him in his vehicle. The second officer also told the court that while his colleague was being beaten, all he could do was watch helplessly and wait for his turn to be beaten. According to him, when his colleague was bundled in the vehicle, Mr. Kangombe trapped him with a smile, saying immediately he smiled back at him, he was punched in his face and bundled him also in the same vehicle. But before driving out, he went to get instructions from UPND President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA on what should be done to them. One officer claimed that Mr. Kangombe drove them to the bush where one of his men produced a container of petrol in readiness to burn them alive before being stopped by Mr. Kangombe, but the other officer denied ever being driven to the bush as claimed. A medical report produced in court is also contradictory to the witness testimonies in court. The medical report shows that the two officers were hacked with machetes, but the two officers have no single cuts on their bodies. The doctor, believed to be a Congolese national, has also told the court that he issued the medical reports on instructions from top police command in Chinsali. The matter has since been adjourned to the 25th of January 2020 for continued trial. And moving on in the news, the ruling Patriotic Front PF says there is a change of political wind in Western Province. PF Deputy Secretary General Mumbipiri says Westerners are geared to vote for the PF due to the numerous developments initiated in the province by her party, which is currently in government. She explains that citizens in the province have realized that the only party to work with is the PF and not any other party. Ms. Piri bases her party's popularity on the increased number of councillors in the province from 16 in 2016 and 30 as of now following endless by-elections held in the province. Ms. Piri said this in an interview ahead of the PF's provincial party elections. President Edgar Lungu, who has already arrived in Mongu, is expected to officiate the provincial conference on Saturday.
People of Western Province are really excited, and I would love to send this message to all other political parties to practice the tenets of democracy in their own organizations as political parties. And I'm so excited that as I've been here in Western Province, from Southern Province, I came to Western Province, the mood of the people has really changed. In case you didn't know, when we went to the 2016 election, we only had 16 councillors here in Western Province, but as I speak to you, with the by-elections which have been going on, we have 30 councillors in total, and the people are geared for the vote in 2021 because according to them, they have been labeled to be corrupt by other political parties, because we have heard other political parties saying the people who are voting for PF in the councillorship, the MPs like Chilanga, the other areas where we didn't have seats, it's because they've been bought with a piece of silver, and that has really upset them, because the people of Western Province are saying they can't sing solo to be bought to give PF a vote. So they are very geared, and I'm excited as the Deputy Secretary General of this party.
Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, MMD President Neves Mumba has accused his perceived political enemies of being behind his partial detention in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Dr. Mumba explains to the nation at a media briefing in Lusaka that he has a dossier of names of people behind his ordeal in the DRC. He explains that the people behind his partial detention in the country are from a named political party, which he did not mention but could only hint that they are powerful people in society. The MMD president has also implicated his business partners as being among those who want to harm him. Dr. Mumba has meanwhile refused ever being detained, as he explains that the Congolese government only restricted his movements only to his hotel room. More in this report.
The leader of the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, Dr. Neves Mumba, has disclosed that he is not afraid of death, and the God he saves will always protect and defend him. The opposition leader said this after he made some allegations that some of his business and political opponents are trying to harm him.
The question is that of interest. What was this all about? It became absolutely clear to me that allegations were fed to the DRC investigative wings by powerful people who had planned that I be charged with treason and possibly face its penalty of death. It is for this reason that I declared a fast on Friday, December 11, 2020, not necessarily just for spiritual reasons. I just said I'm not going to eat until my government comes to rescue me. We are determined to ensure that people responsible for lying to the DRC government about me are tracked down. It's important that they are tracked down. We are determined to ensure that people responsible for lying to the DRC government about me are tracked down. It's important that they are tracked down. The good news is that I'm here with you today. The bad news is that these killers are still out there. And if they could not get me in the first plan they had, they may be wanting to think of what to do next.
Dr. MUMBA denies ever being arrested by the Congolese government during his visit in Congo, but that he was merely restricted and was released immediately after he was cleared. The MMD leader has since thanked everyone that was involved in facilitating his release.
To understand that Congo is a nation that is not free from internal wars and things like that. So sometimes you might think that you are arrested by the government forces when you're actually captured by rebel groups. And so I had to wonder in my mind, is this a legitimate arrest? Or is it something that is going to take me into Kivu amongst rebels? The truth is, I was never arrested. I was only restricted, and I saw.
Meanwhile, the opposition leader has expressed concern at the manner in which the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, is creating tension in the country.
And on ECZ and voter registration, MMD remains deeply concerned at the reckless speed that ECZ is taking towards creating unnecessary conflict in the nation beyond 2021. Again, as MMD has said consistently, the success of ECZ can only be by consensus, involvement of stakeholders in coming up with an electoral process that is acceptable to all.
Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
Our Civic Duty Association, or SIDA, has appealed to all eligible voters in the country who will fail to register in the ongoing voter registration exercise to forward their details to the association. Or SIDA Administrative Secretary Simon Kabanda has told Camnet TV in an interview that this is in order to lobby the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, to extend the voter registration exercise further. Mr. Kabanda says ECZ can only be convinced that several potential voters have not been captured in the exercise if there is enough evidence. He says he is convinced that several potential voters will be left out, hence the more reason the association is embarking on collecting details of all those eligible voters who will not be captured in the ongoing exercise.
Because of the many challenges being encountered in the voter registration exercise, by the end of the exercise itself, a lot of people are going to be left out. But we will still appeal to the ECZ to consider those people who will have been left out by Sunday, which is the last day. And for this reason, we are appealing to the electorate countrywide who have failed to register as voters, not because of their own making, but because of the challenges that are being experienced in the process. They should get in touch with our Civic Duty Association, OCIDA. What we are doing as OCIDA is that we are compiling lists of people who have failed to register as voters in various parts of the country. As OCIDA is that we are compiling lists of people who have failed to register as voters in various parts of the country. So we are appealing to people who have failed or who will have failed by Sunday to register as voters to get in touch with OCIDA. Just send we just need your name and your location of residence. Name and location of residence to 0761 20 6353. 0761 20 6353. That is the number to send the information to.
We take our first set of commercials. Do stay with us as we have more interesting stories lined up for you.
And why do you look so pale and busy scratching yourself?
Lamwandi, you know my skin is very sensitive. I've tried all the skin products and nothing seems to work.
Have you tried Oracle Pure Glycerin?
Oracle Pure Glycerin? What's that?
Just give me a minute.
Oracle Pure Glycerin gives your skin a youthful and healthy glow.
Ish, you're glowing. Don't tell me.
Yes! I already know the secrets.
Oracle Pure Glycerin!
Try Oracle Pure Glycerin for that perfect skin.
Stay home, stay safe. Times have changed. With the advent of the coronavirus, Lusaka Water Supply and Sanitation Company would like to advise its esteemed customers to avoid visiting crowded places. You don't have to move to pay your water bill. You can do it in the convenience of your home. You can pay your water bills through Zanaco Zapit, Stanbic Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, and FNB. You can also use Airtel, MTN, and Zamtel Kwacha mobile money transfer services. For any inquiries to report a fault, please contact our customer service on +260 211 251 571, +260 975 618 618, and toll-free line 5957, Zamtel only. You can also simply email customerservice@lwsc.com. This public announcement is brought to you by the Lusaka Water Supply and Sanitation Company. Water is life. Sanitation is health.
Hello, have you heard about Msika? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, Msika is here. Advertise on Msika between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact
+260 953 995099, +260 962 444 726, or +260 971 177 467.
Msika, allowing your business to grow.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the news. The Zambia Police Service has summoned Opposition United Party for National Development UPND President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA to appear before them. Mr. HICHILEMA is expected to appear before the police at Force Headquarters on Monday, 21st December 2020, with 4 days to Christmas. When contacted to get clarification on why he's being summoned, Zambia Police spokesperson KATONGO tells Camnet TV News that Mr. HICHILEMA will only know why he is being summoned once he avails himself before them. Mr. HICHILEMA has been arrested 17 times by the police. UPND spokesperson Charles Kakoma also tells Camnet TV News that police officers from Force Headquarters attempted to serve the summons at the UPND Secretariat Friday morning but failed as vigilant people. They found found at the Secretariat referred them to the party's lawyers. And moving on in the news, government has launched the National Nuclear Policy and the Nuclear Implementation Plan that will provide guidance on the management of nuclear technology that protects human life and the environment. Minister of Higher Education, Brian Mshemba, says there is evidence indicating that countries that have embraced nuclear science have witnessed technological advancements in various sectors. The Higher Education Minister says the uptake of nuclear technology will immensely contribute to the advancements in the health, agriculture, mining and energy sectors in Zambia. More in this report.
The uptake of nuclear technology by most African countries is a matter of concern. However, some European countries that have embraced nuclear technology, such as Russia, have experienced massive development in areas of energy, health, agriculture, and mining. Zambia is, however, 50 years behind when it comes to nuclear energy utilization. But this gap is about to be closed as government has launched the National Nuclear Policy 2020 and the Nuclear Implementation Plan.
The vision of this policy is to transform our economy by applying nuclear science and technology. As I earlier indicated, we are being bold and deliberate in this policy, and the objectives of this policy are to lead us to this, to develop the nuclear science and technology legal and regulatory framework, to build capacity for nuclear science and technology in the country, to promote nuclear science and technology, to promote public acceptance of nuclear science and technology in Zambia, and to enhance requirements for nuclear safety, security, and safeguards.
Thank the Ministry of Higher Education, Directorate of Science and Technology, as well as Planning, for ensuring that all the work that was needed and required to put this policy together has been done, and we can end the year very well, Honourable Minister, launching our third policy as a Ministry of Higher Education, showing how we are leading the process in science and technology, in the TEMBO'S sector, and now in the nuclear science technology realm.
While Zambia has continued to experience many challenges, including in the area of energy, it is hoped that the launch of this policy will open up doors of investment in the nuclear energy in Zambia. Prudence Chota for Camnet.
Still in the news, Zambia has recorded 4 new COVID-19 related deaths in the last 24 hours, bringing the total number of deaths to 373. The Ministry of Health has reported that 71 new COVID-19 cases have also been reported, while 49 patients have recovered. On Wednesday, 16th December 2020, President Edgar Lungu had warned that the country risks recording a second wave of COVID-19 as a result of relaxing on the part of the general public. The president was more concerned with the poor adherence to prescribed public health measures against the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. And moving on in the news, the leadership movement says it has solutions to the economic challenges women and traders are going through in the country. Party Secretary General Brown Sinyangwe says it is for this reason that his party believes that once elected into office in 2021, it will implement its plans of alleviating poverty among those marginalized groups. Mr. Sinyangwe further states that his party will place priority on industrialization and promised to revamp several defunct renowned factories such as the Kapiri Mposhi Glass Factory, Kafiwe Textiles, Kafiwe Steel, Kawe's Mulungushi Textiles and Mansa Batteries Limited, among other dormant industries.
Like Kafiwe Textiles, Mulungushi Textiles, Kapiri Glass, we're going to bring back all those companies, and also Mansa Batteries. We're going to ensure that we start making things in Zambia. We want to start making electric cars. We have copper there. We have Kapiri Glass. We have Mansa Batteries. We have Kafiwe Steel. So in 2021, we're going to bring back all those companies. We're going to be productive. Our government are going to be productive. We want to ensure that we start producing. We want to start exporting things. We want to export things. Also in 2021, we're going to have state farms in every district. We're going to have state farms in every district so that we can produce food, more food, so that hunger and poverty will become the thing of the past in 2021.
The Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, and the Bank of Zambia, BETWAY, have informed the nation that they have made substantial progress in the matter regarding Ono Savings and Credit Association, OSCA, as a plea agreement has been concluded with the promoters of OSCA, pursuant to which the seizure on the accounts has been lifted by DEC following a directive from the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP. Under the plea agreement, Ono Savings and Credit Association has been ordered to pay the investors the money they had deposited into the companies, inclusive of interest. OSCA is also required to recover the loans owed to the entity. Other terms of the plea agreement include the requirement for Ono Savings and Credit Association to periodically report the anti-money laundering unit of the Drug Enforcement Commission and to the National Prosecutions Authority on the status of its obligations under the said agreement. Members of the public with claims are advised to contact Ono Savings and Credit Association. The Drug Enforcement Commission and the Bank of Zambia have called on the promoters of Ono Savings and Credit Association to comply with all the terms of the plea agreement and ensure that the interests of investors are duly protected. And the issue regarding COMSEV, the matter is still under consideration by the Director for Public Prosecutions. This is according to a statement issued to Camnet TV News by the Public Relations Units of the Drug Enforcement Commission and the Communications Division of the Bank of Zambia. In July this year, the Drug Enforcement Commission, in collaboration with the Bank of Zambia, had seized the accounts of COMSEV Credit Union and Ono Savings and Credit Association for alleged money laundering offenses. On that note, we take our second set of commercials. To stay with us as we have international and sports news. Don't go away.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Take control of your tax planning. Avoid penalties and interest. Returns and payments due by the 10th of the month for declarations of the previous month's transactions are pay as you earn and skills development levy. Returns and payments due by the 14th of the month are turnover tax, withholding tax, mineral royalty tax, tourism levy, gaming and baiting, presumptive tax. Returns and payments for all withholding VAT agents is the 16th of the month. Returns and payments for all VAT registered suppliers is the 18th of the month. Submit the returns and make payments on or before the respective due dates to avoid penalties on the late submission of returns and payments of taxes. Further, note that VAT tax invoices for all business-to-business and business-to-government transactions must bear the tip-in of the buyer without fail. Zambia Revenue Authority. My tax, your tax, our destiny.
Hello, have you heard about Msika? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, Msika is here. Advertise on Msika between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact
+260 953 995099 +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467.
Nsika, allowing your business to grow.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the news. In international news, dozens of students who were freed after being kidnapped by suspected Islamists arrived in the city of Katsina on Friday. State Governor Aminu Masiri, who announced late Thursday that more than 340 of the boys had been found, met with them upon their return. Security forces on Thursday rescued nearly 350 schoolboys who had been kidnapped by suspected Islamist gunmen in northern Nigeria and taken into a vast forest, the governor of Katsina State said. The abduction last Friday night had been claimed by an Islamic militant group, Boko Haram. Gunmen raided the government science secondary school in Kankara town, Katsina State, on motorbikes and carried off the boys in the biggest such incident in the lawless region in recent years. The governor said in a televised interview with the state channel NTA that a total of 344 boys held in the Rungu forest in neighboring Zamfara state had been freed. The abduction gripped a nation already incensed with widespread insecurity and invoked memories of the Boko Haram's 2014 kidnapping of more than 270 schoolgirls in the northeastern town of Chibok. Abduction of schoolboys shows a very dangerous trend towards radicalization of crime groups in the northwest Nigeria. We monitored France 24.
After a week-long ordeal, hundreds of schoolboys kidnapped in northern Nigeria have arrived safely in the capital of Katsina State. They met the local governor before being examined by medical officials.
344 of the students have been handed over to security agencies. We'll have them medically examined, and arrangements will be on the way to unite them with their families.
The boys were abducted by gunmen who raided their school in the village of Kinkara last Friday and released following negotiations with the government. The jihadist group Boko Haram had claimed responsibility for the kidnappings, but it's not clear if they actually carried out the raid, which would mark an expansion of their territory, or if armed gangs known locally as bandits might have sold the children to insurgents. Earlier, a video said to be from the militants showed a distraught teenager who said he was among 520 kidnapped students. The abductions came amid angry anti-government demonstrations.
Nigeria has today been abandoned at the mercy of vicious insurgents, bandits, kidnappers, armed robbers, rapists, and assortment of hardened criminals who roam about and operate with ease.
The disappearance of the boys gripped a nation already incensed by widespread insecurity, bringing back painful memories of the Chibok schoolgirls' abduction in 2014.
We now get into sports news. Betway Zambia has unveiled former Chipolo Polo captain Christopher Katongo as its new brand ambassador. Betway Zambia country manager Panji Kakube has described Mr. Katongo as a determined individual who has positively contributed to uplifting the lives of many young people in the country. Mr. Kakube says his company is set to invest in projects dedicated to uplifting the vulnerable in society on the pretext that a thriving community creates a good business environment. He was speaking Friday morning when he made a donation of assorted foodstuffs worth 65,000 kwacha to the Christopher Katongo Foundation. And the former Chipolo Polo captain Christopher Katongo says determination and hard work has seen him become who he is today.
We're delighted to announce that we have identified one such exemplary individual, and today we are proud to present to you Christopher KATONGO as the BETWAY brand ambassador for Zambia. These admirable and evident leadership qualities made him an obvious choice for this role of brand ambassador. Outside of football, Christopher strives to be a big brother to many promising young college and university students. And today, we are proud to be making a donation to the Christopher KATONGO Foundation, a non-government organization dedicated to offering support in form of school supplies to students from vulnerable backgrounds pursuing tertiary education at various higher learning institutions in the country. The noble cause of the foundation has not gone unnoticed, as every citizen, irrespective of their background, deserves access to quality education.
I'm happy that my discipline and lifestyle and the hard work has been recognized, and as a brand I respected as BETWAY would want me to be associated with me. Determination and hard work has always been my main motivation as a player in Zambia, South Africa, Europe, even in China. Today, we thank BETWAY Zambia for their generosity donation to Christopher KATONGO Foundation. The donation will positively impact the recipients by making their lives better and easier. We salute BETWAY Zambia for this kind gesture and encourage other companies to follow this great example and supporting the communities in which they operate. On behalf of Christopher KATONGO Foundation, I promise to put this kind of donation to good use.
That sports item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of the headlines. Police summon HAKAINDE HICHILEMA for unknown reasons. Dr. TASILA TEMBO'S alleged killer committed to the High Court for trial. Neves MUMBA accuses his political enemies of setting him up in the DR Congo following his partial detention. In international news, dozens of Nigeria's schoolboys arrive home after being kidnapped. And in sports news, Christopher KATONGO unveiled as brand ambassador for BETWAY. The Camnet World Verse of the Day is coming from the book of Luke 1 verse 8, and it reads, "And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, and was in the deserts until the day of his appearing unto Israel." On behalf of the entire news production crew and myself, Liseli Kanyanga, thank you so much for watching Camnet TV News on Camnet TV, not just another channel.